Well, there's a countless number of Beatles tribute bands across the country, across the world. I've seen a number of them.
That's right, but only the members of Liverpool Legends can say they were handpicked by the sister of Beatle George Harrison. You can catch the band in Omaha tomorrow night.
And welcome Louise Harrison and Marty Scott, who
This
portrays
is so nice.
who portrays George in the Liverpool Legends. Thanks for coming.
Great
Nice
to have you with
Thanks for
us.
having us.
My kid brother here.
That's right. Well, I guess Louise, tell us about the Liverpool Legends. What's your role in this?
Well, I'm their mum, basically. When we first started out, I used to help with loading and unloading the truck, and I used to wash their shirts for them every week and sew on buttons and all of those kind of things, you know. But they call me manager, but I've never really managed anything, you know, so...
I'm kind of unmanageable, that's why.
That's right.
How'd you meet up with these guys? How'd this relationship come about?
Well, what happened was just shortly after my brother died, I was at a Beatle reunion thing in Chicago, and it turned out that Marty was playing my brother on stage, and I hadn't actually grieved for my brother going because I knew he wanted off this planet anyway, you know. So I was sitting, this was 6 weeks later, I was sitting in this theater at the back, and Marty came on stage and started playing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and without knowing anything about it, the tears just started streaming down my face. And anyway, after the show, I met Marty. We all had dinner together. And he just struck me as being a very similar kind of personality. He was funny and serious and, you know, kind and compassionate and all of those good things. And I had this little spooky sort of feeling that wherever my brother's being happened to be, that maybe he looked around the planet and said, oh, no, here's a likely-looking lad that might be able to be a brother for her. And so 10 years later, we're still close friends, and we've had wonderful... We joke about the fact that sometimes we're brother and sister, sometimes we're mother and son, and sometimes we're father
Sometimes I'm the
and daughter.
dad and she's the daughter.
It works out, however.
Yeah.
You just returned from the Grammys, didn't you? A nomination there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's amazing.
Yeah, Marty?
Incredible. It was something that we just got involved in. It was a sort of a Beatle fan CD with a bunch of interviews, and Louise narrated it, and we did all the Beatles songs. They got nominated for a Grammy up against Betty White and Val Kilmer and Tina Fey.
Well, that's amazing. What category was that for?
It was
Spoken word.
Yeah, and Betty White won, but it's okay to lose to Betty White, you know.
Did you enjoy the red carpet, Louise?
Not much. You know, I belong to the Beatle biological family, and we've never been much for, you know, pretentiousness and wearing the jewels and all that.
Marty enjoyed it.
I sure did, you know.
Tell us about your show in Omaha. I know our viewers are going to be anxious to hear about this.
Yes, at the Morton Magnet Middle School. Well, it's one of a series of something that we've just started, and I've incorporated a non-profit organization so that we can actually accept sponsorships, and, you know, people can send tax-exempt donations or hotel rooms or flights on airplanes or whatever to help us get around. But what we've started doing is working with schools, with the music directors, because as we all know, education is being vastly underrated right now, and of course music education is at the bottom of the totem pole as far as funding. So we thought that as musicians, this is one of the problems that maybe we could help to defray a little bit, you know. Obviously we can't save all of the schools or anything, but at least we can try, and at least we can have fun trying, and everybody else can have fun with us. So we go perform a concert just like our normal Broadway show, quality show, but we have the students, all of the music students in the theater, you know, in the schools. They learn half a dozen of our songs, and then in the second half of the show they come on stage with us and perform along with the band, and we just have a wonderful time, and then we're able to give a nice chunk of money to the school at the end of the thing.
I think it's an important cause. As a musician myself, Marty, you know, as a musician, this is an important cause to get get music back into the schools. I have to ask you, Louise, you had a front row seat to Beatlemania. That was the 60s, right?
Yes.
What was that like?
It was a lot of fun. It was very, very hectic. But, you know, it started for me back in 1963. I had just moved into this country. In fact, in March of next year, it'll be my 50th anniversary of entering the United States as a resident alien. But anyway, my mum started sending me the first early Beatle recordings, and being a bit of a ham myself, I started going around all the radio stations and everything and saying, hey, this is my Kid Brothers band and you should be playing these records. So eventually, you know, I started writing to Brian Epstein and George Martin and Dick James, all of the players in the thing, and finding out for them how the music business worked in this country and letting them know what to expect and what they needed to do. And one of the first things I discovered was, in order to get your record played on the radio, back in those days there was a lot of payola going on.
Yes.
You had to have, you know, major record company or some major push behind you. So, you know, I let them know all of these things. And then, of course, when George came over, he came to visit me in September of 1963, which was the first, in fact, somebody's doing a documentary on that right now. Called My Kid Brothers Band. But then when he came back in February of '64, he invited me to New York to stay with him. And it was a lot of fun.
I bet that was an experience.
It was, yeah. So, you know, with hundreds of kids jumping on top of the
my
limos.
Well, to see the video is something else, much less to have seen it in person and to think all of these people, and that's my brother.
We said it yesterday. She was one of the only people to see the Ed Sullivan Show in color. Right?
Right, that's right.
That's
She did see
precious.
that.
All right, Liverpool Legends. This concert is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Morton Magnet Middle School. And so you see the ticket prices there, a phone number if you'd like to get more information. We're going to visit more with Marty here in just a minute.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions for Marty as well. Thanks for coming.
Louise.
Louise,
Okay.
we appreciate it. It's
This
been a
has been
pleasure
such a
meeting you.
treat.
And can I just tell people that it might be a good idea to try and get their tickets today, because invariably when we're on the road, they sell out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to be disappointed, you know, coming to the door and finding that there's no seats available.
Yeah,
Of
if you want to
course.
go, act
Yeah.
quickly. Today on Facebook, a question that will be tough to answer for a lot of you. What is your favorite
Come on.
Beatles song? Louise, do you have a
One.
favorite?
I like all of them. Or the one that I was listening to the most recently.
That's
Good
right.
answer. Let us know what your favorite song is. Search Morning Blend Omaha and like us to join the conversation.